in the studio, and we were talking when they jumped on board with Northwest Dirt News and wanted to help out, especially with the broadcast of the Bud Nationals, which you're going to hear. You're going to hear their commercial from the Bud Nationals.
We're working on a little bit today.
Well, you know what's funny is there's a lot of commercials we're working on, and we're trying to get all that done, and it's been crazy. But we've got some new sponsors coming onto the show. This whole thing is growing, and it's growing fast. And I tell you what, I'm proud of it. I'm proud of you guys. I'm proud of the whole Moxie crew and what we're doing because when I started this deal, this is not what I saw as what we would be doing. The whole thing actually started going into the direction where I wanted to have a monthly magazine.
Right.
A monthly subscription.
Right.
Much like
well, they can still subscribe.
Well, and we'll work to that. We'll work to that. But the whole thing really, my whole thing was, I love to write and I wanted to do a monthly subscription like Speedway Illustrated, something like that. Maybe
right.
not on
an
that
e-magazine.
level. Right. Something like that with tech articles and advertising and all that good stuff. I want to do something that nobody's doing here in the Northwest that focused strictly on the Northwest, West Coast tile. Because you open up Speedway Illustrated, what do you see? Occasionally you'll see some stuff from California. You hardly ever see anything from Oregon or Washington. It's a market that's not covered. And you open it up and you read about the World of Outlaws, late models, the Lucas Oil guys. You read about NASCAR. I'm not concerned with that stuff. I want to cover what's going on in our area. I want to cover our guys. I want to get our guys recognition, our sponsors recognition. You know what I mean?
That's right.
So that's what it all started, and then we end up with Northwest Dirt News Radio and on Spreaker, and 3 announcers at 3 different tracks doing our thing, and it's growing and definitely something that I hadn't planned on. But it's just the way it worked out, and I love it. I mean, right now I wouldn't change a thing.
I got to sit there and give a big thanks to Trisha Arley. Because it was 2 years ago that we came down, and Trisha and I asked Trish Arley, I sat there and I said, hey, do you think we could sit up in the skybox, up in the VIPs? And she goes, I know a guy. I said, you do? And she goes, yeah, Corey.
Well, it was funny because when Josh said Corey, we grew up at Willamette, we
race go-karts and all that type of stuff.
It wasn't like we weren't, familiar with each other.
But it's been, it's been.
There was a gap of time, right?
Been a little while, and I sat there and I'm like, oh, okay. And so when I saw you up in the tower, I waved or whatever, and then you got us up in the VIP section, and it just kind of went from there. And then we were sitting there, and it basically then when we did the live televised.
Well, and that's the way. Now this was. Let's talk about it real quick. The live televised show from Clare Cup, not this year, the year before, was Clare Cup.
Yep.
Okay, so the original plan was, I was going to be the host on the show. We're going to bring it to you live from Willamette Speedway. Co-host was scheduled to be Adam Passmore.
Mm-hmm.
Adam was good to go. We were going to rock and roll, and we were going to hit it hard, and we were going to have fun, and then it was time to go on the air. And Adam disappeared.
I came down just to be a cameraman.
Josh came down to work a camera.
Because I was working for our local independent broadcasting company stuff there in Vancouver, Portland area. And so Corey had said, hey, well, do you know how to run a camera? I said, well, yeah, I know how to run a camera and all that type of stuff. So we got the guy and we got everything. And so my whole thing was to get set up and to run a camera. And then all of a sudden I sat down.
We had an intermission.
Yeah.
And there was a time where, we were under I don't know if it was a caution intermission, but
I remember. I think it was intermission stuff. We were just kind of just
Josh sits down next to me, and I threw a mic at him, and from there on, it was just like, hey, let's rock and roll.
Mm-hmm.
We can really make something out of this, and we got a lot of compliments on it. It was fun, and it's been nothing but a blast since. But
going back and forth, it was really, really cool. It was, and I look back at that, and I owe Trisha a lot of respect, for
the whole Arley family.
Yeah.
I know they were important to your life as well as mine.
Yeah, missing her dad very, very much. I mean, it's still kind of one of those things,
We all do. I can't see a number 21, whether it's on Steve Moore's car or Billy Moyer's car, and not think about Don Ireland.
Well, that, and then when he had that famous block star Type 21,
it was
and
Billy
everything.
Moyer 21, Billy
and
Moyer paint scheme.
Yeah, and it's just like, you look at that, and the first thing you want to do is like, oh, well, there's Don Ireland. I mean, that's who that was. That's who that is.
Well, and I, like I said before on the show, I've had a pleasure to work with Don when I was younger in my 20s and learn how to build a race car. And
Gene Day, Gene
absolutely
Bosshart.
meticulous. I mean, I've worked with a lot of guys on race cars, and I don't know of anybody that I've ever worked with the exception of Tony Whitney, who was meticulous on the level that Don Irely was. I mean,
he was very.
It was crazy. It was almost like a mad scientist. It was like one little thing couldn't be off.
I remember we ran a Friday night at Willamette Speedway. Saturday night we ran Roseburg Asphalt. Right?
Yeah.
So this is the deal: is we ran Willamette Speedway dirt. Turned around, went over to, I don't know if it was Gene Days or if it was Duty's, or I'm not sure exactly whose house and stuff we went to, because I think Duty still lived in Portland at that time. But anyways, like 3 or 4 of us, cars, everything else, we went to one shop, got everything all changed over at that night. I mean, it was probably 3 o'clock in the morning.
Going down to the Outlaw 100.
Yeah, going down to Roseburg.
Yes.
And then pitted in the inside. I still have a picture of me. I think it was like 12 or 13 years old with Gene Day wearing his orange or his like a tan with the white. Yeah, it was awesome. But ladies and gentlemen, we have Adam Passmore calling in.
That's Mike Patterson.
Or Mike Patterson.
That's Mike Patterson.
You have problems reading, Josh?
Well, we were just talking about Passmore, but I don't know, Mr. Moxie Mike, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, what's going on, guys in the great up north?
We are having a great time.
Kicking it old school.
Nice. I just got done getting my front and some slow pitch softball.
Yeah, hold on 1 second, bud. Let me try something here real quick. And all right, so we're just going to go ahead and how's that?
That's better.
There we go. So, Mike, we were kind of telling the fans earlier, the listeners on our show, when we opened it up, we talked a little bit about Bud Nationals and the preparation going on Josh's end and on my end and what Sandy's doing. And let's talk about, because I didn't want to break this. This is your work that we've been talking about. I want to let you know that I'm letting you break the news that you've been doing, because it's a pretty cool deal. We got some things going with a company down in California because of Mike. And Mike, go ahead and tell everybody what's going on.
Well, we got a couple things going. First off, we'd like to get a shout-out and welcome Linson Signs from San Luis Obispo. They're going to be helping us with some banners out here, so it makes it a little easier so you guys don't have to ship everything down here, because your flight's going to be, costly, and every extra baggage that we got to bring down is money, and they're going to help us out down here. And also our big one, Rugged Radios, the leading West Coast distributor of competition radios, both on-road, off-road, dirt track, asphalt. They're going to come aboard. We're working on something right now to get them up with us and get us some radios and some communication equipment. But Rugged Radios, if you get a chance, look them up on Facebook. Rugged Radios out of Arroyo Grande. Great group of guys out there. Tonight, actually tomorrow morning, they're heading out to Orange County for the Sand Super Show. So they're up to their elbows in all kinds of stuff right now on the last-minute push before they go down there.
So you've been doing a lot of footwork on your end to save us expenses, because you with the Linson Sign doing our banners for that show down there, Rugged Radios. You've got some other stuff you're working on right now that we can't definitely confirm yet. We don't want to say it because it's not one of those deals where we're wrapping it up and it'll happen, but we just can't say it because it's not 100% done yet. But also in the state of Oregon, helping us out with our stickers, who always produces our our stickers that you'll see on the race cars, Charlie James.
Yeah, without a doubt, your guy up there does great work. It's just a convenience factor pretty much when it comes with Linson Signs, because not only are they helping us out with the banners, but the owner, his grandson, is going to be helping us out at Bud Nationals with our video work and helping out in the pits area. It's Jordan Linson. He drives a 360 sprint car, but they have an off week, so he's going to come and help us out and see what we do on the outside of the racetrack.
Right, and I'm glad you brought that up, because at the Budweiser Nationals, we typically, when we go to a racetrack with Sam, who he couldn't get the time off with a new position change and shift change. He just couldn't get the time off, which is a bummer deal for us. But we will have Warren working the pit area with Jordan Linson.
Yep.
Listen to this. I haven't even told you this yet, Josh.
I'm still my mouth is still kind of dropping because having these guys come on board, dude, is stellar.
It's cool. It's cool for us. It kind of shows that people are listening to our show and they're liking what they're hearing. So at Budweiser Nationals, okay, typically when at a racetrack, whether it's at Sunset or Willamette or wherever we are together with Sam when he shows up,
right.
like at your track with Ken Schrader, he'll bring four of the Jetstream the Moxie action cams.
Yeah.
Okay. Budweiser Nationals, we will have 10 cameras mounted on cars.
10 cameras?
Now, if Sam's listening, Sam is mad right now.
No.
Sam is mad. I know Sam heard that, and Sam's going to be mad because then he's going, 10 cameras? You know what kind of editing that makes for me? That's okay, though, because we're going to bring some really, really cool footage. We got some awesome things planned with some.
We have 2 days.
2 days.
2 days of amazing action. Sam, just go ahead and take vacation now, buddy, because it's gonna be hell.
And with Mike, and you and myself up in the Mike Mosier Tower, we will be calling now. We've talked with the track owner. What we're going to be doing is calling the IMCA modifieds and the late models. We'll be calling the feature classes
right
up there at the Bud Nationals, and that way we're not stepping on the toes of the local announcers. And Mike, let's kind of talk about what you've been doing down there at Santa Maria and other places. You've been all over California announcing and doing your thing, and kind of give us an update on what's been going on with you lately.
We've lately I've been, here and there and everywhere, helping out, doing some announcing. Santa Maria Raceway, been announcing out there, and Bakersfield Speedway, been announcing out there, helping them out when they need it. But been on the grind, finding new things, finding some interesting places to go and people to meet, because that's what it's all about, is going out there and having a good time and enjoying racing and bringing the best action I can to the fans that are listening.
Well, and you've got a lot of connections down there, and we will be working with Brian Smith and Sullivan, with the two announcers there at Bakersfield. Had a chance to work with Sully last year. Smith I've known for a long time. Great bunch of guys down there. It should be a whole bunch of fun for their crew and our crew to get together and mix it up at the Bud Nationals. And I know you worked with Brian a little bit. I know you've talked to him. He's excited. I spent some time talking with him earlier today, and this is going to be a fun deal.
It's going to be an absolute blast for everybody involved. And the best part about that is when it's fun for the people doing it, that fun translates into more fun for the people listening and watching.
Well, here's
that's what we have. We have a whole bunch of fun up in the booth, and we try to translate that to everybody who's tuning in.
Absolutely. I wanted to share something with you, Mike, because you've got a lot of experience there at Bakersfield Speedway. I've been there. This is my 4th year now at the Bud Nationals. I've been there a couple times before as a member of a race team. We were looking at some things online last week, and when Josh saw the picture of the grandstands at the Budweiser Nationals.
Well, let's break this down a little bit.
I wish you could have seen the look on his face when I said, "Have you seen the crowd they get there at the Bud Nationals?" He says, "What do you mean?" I said, "Here, go online, type it in." He found images of Bakersfield Speedway, and when he saw the size of the crowd, his face kind of said, "Oh no."
Dude, okay, so let's listen to this. And
some of those pictures, Josh, were at like 11:30, 12 o'clock at night, and if you look, nobody's asleep.
so this was it was part of the night race or whatever, but it has it's a picture from basically the middle, the apex of turn 3 and 4, and it shows all of 3 and 4, the whole front stretch, and into turn number 1, and the place is packed for the Bud Nationals. Now Corey said something about, he says we got 2,000 fans plus down at, Willamette. We got about, 1,500, at or 1,000 to 1,500 there at Sunset Speedway. He says it's a little bit bigger crowd. And so I'm like, oh, okay, well, how much of a bigger crowd and stuff how much can we really talk about, right? Yeah, that picture, he says, that's 9,000 Bakersfield fans.
Yeah, and last year at the Bud Nationals, it was standing room only.
It really was. It really was. It was just, it was loaded. Even down there by the concessions in turn 1, it was just, it was